Hello everyone, I'm Chris from TOT and now I'll explain Toto Sniper, our powerful and feature-rich indicator. As you can see here, we already have the indicator fully loaded now. Here we have a summary table on the left with the volume data, in this case daily because we're on the daily time frame. And on the next time frame, which is 3 days, we have the DC Hunter data and the Sniper data that show us how the market is moving to perform an analysis. This is primarily an analysis tool to use alongside your own strategies. Don't rely solely on this tool. Here we have the backtesting data. Now I'll show you how to configure it. First, we select the source data. In this case, we have the closing data. Then we choose the language for our table, either Italian or English. In this section, we select and specify the various types of data that we will be working with throughout the system. Weekly intervals, daily breakdowns, hourly measurements, as well as fully customizable settings. So we can set them as we like. Here we have the type of strategy we want to use. Filter Mama Fama, Bollinger Bands, SSL, Mama Fama, or 2 filter cross strategies. Here we can deliberately delay the signal by applying an adjustable time lag, waiting for a confirmation candle, which is usually not used. Here we have the RO indicator data used for volume. Likewise, this applies equally to Bollinger Bands and Dokian periods, as they are integral indicators employed in the strategy and for calculating overall trading volume. Here we have the Center data that is used for this particular section of the table. Here we have the filter data that is instead used for the remaining portions of the grid. Strategy, the data from the 2 filter cross indicator, which is always used for the filter strategy. The money flow data used in this table, the volume data in this table, and so on. Here we also have the option to see when the market is ranging or not, or if squeezes are happening. I usually don't use it, though it's fine if you want to use it for analysis. Here we have the SSL lines. We can choose one or two. For example, I remove the first to have the indicator a bit cleaner with just the first strategy, or I can activate either one or the other. To have the SSL crossovers, which are used very often, here we have the SSL calculation system fully customizable. Why so many customization options? Because it's an analysis tool, so everyone is free to configure it as they wish. Here we have the configurations for these stop losses and take profits. Next to it, the stop loss is selected as or the last low or high, or as a base filter, or as a percentage. Same thing for take profit with a risk reward ratio 1, 1.5 or VIA. And here we also set the percentages. Here we can enable or disable our backtest. As you can see, the table will now disappear. We reactivate it, initial capital $1,000, use an all take profit. We always leave the tick enabled, and here is the date range of the take profit period. As we can see, by choosing random data like this, suddenly we find ourselves with 50% of all trades being executed in 2024, simply because only 2 trades were actually made. And we achieve a 21% increase if we choose to modify it further and utilize our individual configurations instead of the default settings provided initially. If we want, we can choose our preferred daily setting from the menu, and then our customized daily strategies will automatically load without additional input. We already have more operations, totaling 16 trades in total, but in the end we still achieve a 26% overall return. As a baseline, so personal setting was better. We can try changing a strategy, for example, to the 2 filter cross, or we can use only the SSL, which in this case yields only a 3% return over the 2024 period, obviously demonstrating a modest decline. It is an indicator that must be used together with other strategies. We cannot rely on it exclusively, for example. We cannot rely exclusively on this method alone, but as you can already see from the examples provided, by applying this approach, a person can form a very clear, comprehensive idea. We base our strategy on the market's trend and by using other carefully selected reliable indicators that we always make available to our customers. You can perform a complete analysis on TradingView using its extensive tools and fully customizable charting features.